I never expected that I would get to here, to the start of UVHM. What if I buy a rifle? Do I get some ammo? Yes. With every level you gain, the price to buy ammo increases, and I thought this would get unsustainable really quickly. It turned out it's not actually the price of ammo that's the biggest bottleneck, it is how much ammo I can carry. Where's the rifle ammo? There's some. 500 bullets, that should get me somewhere. Having chosen the Siren as a character helped a lot. It helped with testing this gun in its most raw form. Stat buffs for assault rifles are hard to find in Maya's skill tree and class mods. Towards the end of this video though, when Maya fails us, I will switch to Salvador and I will try to push through the game even further with 2 choppers. I have a chance maybe? Oh, I'm not hitting him. Oh, why? 26,000, that's nothing. Let's get this one out, this one, and let's go. Juicy. What is he? What? Never seen that before. Wow. 58. Yeah. I'll take this one. As I arrived in Frostburn Canyon, the $1 million I brought from the last playthrough was about to run out. For the first time in this whole challenge I went to Wham Bam Island to farm the chest there for money. Yo, that was a full magazine for one badass psycho. Now it was a full magazine. What did Shakespeare write again?
Visit her face too roughly. In heaven, in earth, must I remember?
Oh, come on, Lilith, you can do this. Oh, I'm broke! After having fought and died my way through Frostburn Canyon, I had to go and farm money again. Bad Maw was my next hurdle and I couldn't get him down in one bleed out. So I reloaded the map a couple of times until I found a slag barrel in his camp. After that I thought to myself, it actually is a challenge by itself playing UVHM without using slag, and I skilled into Scorn. Please don't give me a dislike now. I think without using slag it would have been a 2-in-1 challenge and that's not what I was doing. On my skill tree I also picked up Life Tap, which I realized I should have tried way earlier because this healing was so good it changed the way I played. Right after having killed Mad Mike, the bandits had already started respawning on my 7th walk to the vendor, and from then on I simply died to get ammo. Getting through the ramparts was not as easy as I remembered. Fleeing from the loaders, I accidentally made the warden spawn while having no ammo with me. So while the timer for the drop barge's arrival was running, I was literally running to the start of the map for my signature move. We might just be too late. To my surprise, I made it back to the warden in time. No gulag in the chopper challenge. Oh, not a... This is too familiar, bro. Oh crap, no. That should work. Absolutely. Whew. Nice, the run doesn't end here. After having spent a whopping $1 million during the fight in Overlook, I farmed myself 2 mil before even entering the preserve. As a nice bonus, I kept finding new gear for myself in that money farm chest. I could run through right now. Let's see if I think I should. Arriving in Bloodwing's arena, all I was concerned about was to conserve ammo by aiming well and switching the relic at the most optimal time. But I had overestimated the difficulty of this fight once again. During the group initiation into the Slab Club, I snuck through as a bystander, and on the way to the bunker I finally stumbled upon a serious challenge. Not the jet loader, he was tame this time. It was actually the constructor that got me. No, not that one. The small one got me thinking the 1000 cuts might just maybe mark the end of all this. Nah, it's pointless. Fighting that one's pointless. Here's my strategy explained. If you don't feel like paying much attention right now, just enjoy my struggle with pronunciation, I guess. Here we go. I was trying to fall into fight for your life mode after 1. Spending all the bonus ammo I could carry because of my stockpile relic, and after 2. Switching to my allegiance relic that gives me better damage per second. And then obviously, while being securely planted in front of the constructor's eye, I would get a second wind from the constructor. But that was all easier thought than done. as I heard the constructor announce an I immediately saw the opportunity to safely get some damage in. I then escaped the constructor for the first time on attempt 9. I had to go buy some ammo and I was finally able to execute my strategy as planned. He is so dead. That's it. Down me. Beautiful. Now let's get to my main concern here in this map. Just to dip my toes into the water, I dumped 912 ammo onto the Badass Constructor with my Allegiance relic on. There was the possibility to let this machine nuke itself to death, but... Dude, it's so slow. It's painful. What is this shit? Why is this guy here? This guy is coming here. I see it on the minimap. What can I do? I'll go this way. Is anybody here? Yes, of course! Good, I'm so quick. Dude, Fleet is saving me. Where's the constructor? Are you kidding me? I saved and quit a couple of times in an attempt to get the thing to spawn on a lower level than 56. Then it occurred to me that I don't even have to run through all of 1000 cuts. I might as well grenade jump my way up to the entrance of the bunker and save and quit for a low level constructor from there. I would have just went and dealt with the bunker, but this Badass Constructor is a mandatory kill in the story mission. I gave up on getting a low level spawn. I used all my ammo on that thing, being smart with those relics. Then I went and opened all little containers in the area while having no rifle ammo with me. Then I walked a second loop to collect all that ammo, and finally never mind, the constructor despawned. So on the next go I didn't venture out quite so far, but to more dangerous places instead, and it worked out, finally. Let's go! Let's go! Well, I'm dead now. That's okay. Not dangerous at all. Should I kill him? I can't. I was not concerned about fighting the bunker. That might be a 2-cycle. Is he coming? Oh my god, I just 2-cycled the bunker. Did not expect that, guys. I tried defending the slab tower again, as it had become a tradition, and there I noticed that warloaders and similar loaders are only rarely affected by Scorn. That was the reason why. That's the first time it's actually difficult. In Sawtooth Cauldron I left most of the bandits alone, because I had figured they would probably respawn before I would be done with stealing the explosives. Oh, that's a surveyor. What? What was that now? Oh, what did I kill? Was he like latched onto a surveyor actually? He totally was. Before fighting Saturn, I went and got myself a fresh shield from the bunker this time, as well as some pocket change, just in case. And it paid off. Even though I kept switching my relic for maximum damage and minimum number of refills, I had to visit the vendor 4 times, spending $900,000 worth of bullets on Saturn alone. Excuse me? How is he hitting me? I hope you don't blame me for simply avoiding this Badass Constructor. I was kind of fed up with those from the one before bunker. With a little bit of luck I survived long enough to grab the data device. Whoops. Sorry bro? And then I unfortunately had to find out that these constructors were indeed just as hard to destroy as those in 1000 Cuts. Good, I can just let them be there this time and continue to hero split. Actually no, money farm comes first. Ooh, what? Hello there. And with 5 million plus a handful of liquid assets in my inventory, I felt prepared for Heroes Pass. At the time the first constructor was deployed, I had already went for the signature move 4 times. Very soon I had to do some strategic planning because there was not enough time in Fight for Your Life mode to kill the constructor. I obviously couldn't hit him from afar, and I also couldn't stay on the platform besides it without falling into Fight for Your Life mode or getting stomped off. I'm burning to death again, right? That's why I die. I burn to death. Come on. Ah, got it. Now with a full mag, I can try and kill the constructor. It's not gonna happen. I'll just show you what it looks like. Oh wow. What? It actually does appear like they have the same amount of health. I had the same gear, the same skills, but fighting the super badass I had gotten a second wind off of one of his mini turrets, and a second wind gives you a damage boost for a very short time. And apparently that was enough to take out the super badass that was even one level higher than the other one? This is just twisted, let's move on. Hello Jack. Sorry your clown dance doesn't bring me to the floor. Oh, are you frustrated now? Yeah, let it all out on that table, if that's really the last thing you wanna do. Anyways, if you have seen the previous episodes, you know how I will kill the warrior. With a lot of patience and a little bit of generosity from Hyperion. It didn't even take longer than previously. So you can complete UVHM with only the chopper and I guess slag. And it's not even that hard. I refused to sacrifice the time it would take to grind XP until level 80, but I wanted to find out regardless whether or not I can also beat the warrior on max level. And it's just the same. It took me less than 10 minutes, which is even the fastest time of all the warrior kills in this entire challenge. That's insane. I mean, there's nothing I can do for preparation except like getting a better shield. Let's try anyways. In order to progress to the next room of the Destruct Peak, I needed to delete all enemies, and with only a few ammo crates scattered across the map and no access to a vendor, I had to use my ammo more consciously than ever, and it still didn't cut it. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. I had multiple comments under the previous episodes pointing out it would have been easier to play as the Gunzerker, and the time has come to find out how much easier it really is. Before jumping straight into the combat trials of OP1, I wanted to get used to Salvador a little. Unlike in Maya's skill tree, here there were plenty of useful skills to pick from. I died a few times to Captain Flint, but that's only because I'm simply not used to playing as the Gunzerker. Oh, I'm missing the freaking button, I'm not used to pressing that. Oh, I'm empty. Are you kidding? That's more damage, isn't it? If you play it smart, if you know your skills and stuff, it's easier with the Gunzerker. But not for me. Not today. Oh frick! Don't tell me I die to this guy. Whew! I think that's enough for me, guys. Psych! Let's go OP2! Woo! What? He killed himself in a death wall. I called it. Holy shit, I'm not ready.